I'm trying to look up the scores because it looks like Mark Schulte and Anthony Zabonic keep going back and forth.
Well, that's excellent. We're going to end up down there in a little while. I did discover that if I were to put my little slightly wobbly selfie stick tripod up to its maximum extension, I can get signal from the far bays back to Red Feather without having my Red Feather set up outdoors, which is pretty wild and also potentially useful in the future. But I don't think that that wobbly tripod is quite sturdy enough to risk setting up on top of my car to get the height that I need to have a clear line of sight.
Okay. We need to get Mark
Yeah,
Schulte to just hold it up there for you.
that's a good point. Mark, you're not
Yeah.
shooting. Come over here and just
Right. Here, be a radio
it's,
tower.
it's Bigfoot Media.
Sasquatch Radio.
I think we've got Drew Maruski lining up to make ready, so I'm going to
Oh,
get up on. Should have video shortly or now.
yep, I see it.
So I'm trying a slightly different approach to the camera real quick, so I'm going to go there. Doing some slightly more manual settings to see if that makes the HDMI load a little bit easier on the controller. And there's Drew Maruski, uh, ready to go.
Stage one.
It looks like Drew found that same maneuver in the back shooting area there that Vlieger did, kind of
Yes.
taking the one target on entry and shooting the rest from one spot, which obviously preferable if you can make it happen.
Yep. He shot very smooth through that whole stage.
I would agree. See if I can tidy up the focus a bit on the camera here. There we go. I think that's better. So there
Wow. I
is apparently on this version of the DJI controller app a clean feed option. So I'm rather than having it process the camera view separately, I'm just you're now seeing exactly what I'm seeing, kind of just the stage on screen and yeah, occasional little bits of UI as it does stuff.
okay. All right, I'm gonna go.
And this stage I feel like is much easier to parse now that, well, I guess now that it's not cloudy and wet. Or actually,
Right.
still cloudy. Now that it's not as damp as it's been. You know, with this view, you get a good look at on the right side downrange there. You got the that opening array of 6, that paper target tucked in behind the wall, that little corner wall there. But it also looks like we have a competitor coming up. That's Patch's Reader. So we'll watch Patches here now make ready, and he'll be off to the races momentarily.
Drew seventh overall on that stage. He did a really good job. 26 Alpha, 5 Charlie, 22:28 was his time.
So it looks like
What?
Patches forgot something there. I see a magazine or two now coming
Oh
coming
goodness.
off of his coming out of his shooting bag.
Who needs ammo? Come on. We don't need no stinking ammo. Patches Reader, stage one.
Patch is there doing very much the same thing that Drew did in Vlieger earlier, kind of finding that spot in the kind of back center left of that second shooting area from which you can see, let's see, I guess 10 of the 12 shots you need from that box.
Right.
Something I saw on that, you saw he came onto the popper in the middle of the stage very quickly, and then stayed on it for a second after he shot. I think he surprised himself by getting that hit the first time.
Hmm. Okay. I think
Was of
we're going
course
to have Gelnet
a very sporty
next.
transition for where you're coming off of like a big wide thing, probably with a little bit of a step too to get facing in the right direction.
Okay. I think we have Chris coming up next.
I've got that list somewhere, but let's see if I can
I think
pull it
it's
up.
Reader, then Gelnet, Heizenrader, Kiesel, Labriola.
I believe you are correct. Yes, on this extremely extremely light squad.
Yeah. So Patch has had a good run. He's third overall on the stage.
Yeah. So I think. Oop, I guess we've got Gelnet now about to. Yeah. Yes, Chris Gelnet now about to make ready. And you are correct. I think we might be seeing to some extent the impact of the better weather today, but the other lesson I think I'm
Yeah.
taking out of this is that the stage plan, whether you go up first to take that crossing shot at the beginning, or go to the corner first and take the crossing shot on the right on your way up the alley in the first shooting area, doesn't seem to make a huge difference as far as outcomes go.
Agree. What's Chris doing? Drying something?
Yeah, he's wiping off his dot, I believe, which it hasn't really been.
Okay.
It drizzled very briefly earlier, but it hasn't been rainy enough even to ground a drone today. So
Nice. The actual shooting areas, looking at stage 1 and 2, they look good.
yeah, it's one of the things. It's looks like Galnet's about ready to go, so we'll let him have his run.
Yeah. Oof.
I'd have to see what the maybe play with the what if some there, but I don't know that it was worth it going back for that for that makeup.
Is that there's no penalty on that target, right? It's just an open
It is
target.
it's two open targets there on the right. Yeah, actually,
Okay.
if we scoot around, we can probably take a look at that.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, two open upside down targets there.
Okay, that's why it looks kind of weird. I couldn't quite figure out what the deal was. Upside down makes more sense now. Okay. Yeah, he was probably what about a good 8, maybe 10 feet out when he went back.
Yeah, it's probably about that much. At least figure probably a 3 or 4 second swing in total. Noticing, going back, shooting, leaving again. It's got to be a fairly low hit factor stage to make that worthwhile. And this one probably isn't in open.
So Dan should be up next.
Yep, looks like he is in the shooting area making ready, uh, or at least on his final walkthrough. And I think probably Kiesel behind him. Is that right?
Yes. And then Labriola, and
Yep.
then they're done. So Chris did not have as good a run. Slower than the other two. with 21 alphas and 10 Charlies. He's 14th overall on
Yeah,
this stage.
unsurprising with the step in and out there.
Right.
Oh, we got Dan Heistenritter making ready, uh, about to take his run for his last stage of the day. Looks like that
So,
lean out plan was discovered by and also shared by people on this squad.
yeah, they all seem to be running the same thing, so they probably talked about it.
Well, a bunch of guys in D2 jerseys, people who know each other, shoot with each other a lot.
Yeah.
It's one of those classic gentlemanly moves here in our corner of the sporting world.
See if the scores have updated yet. Nope, not quite yet.
It looks like Ron is on his final walkthrough, looking at the same plan as we've seen on this squad so far. So that's coming straight to the back right, taking the right crosser on the way, coming in on the outside left target as you get to that middle position by the Excalibur banner, and finally, two position stop in that back box.
And for those people that don't know, this is the gentleman that brought you the sliding targets at Area 8 last year.
What was that?
I was saying Ron's the one who brought everybody
Ah,
these
yes,
sliding targets at Area 8.
the mad genius under the name Sigma Artworks, who produces all of the most unusual stuff at Greater Pittsburgh. Ron Kiesel lining up. One last run through in his head. And here he goes.
Can still see the flash.
Yep. On a cloudy day like today, super bright. It's very, what's the word? Very visible. Even on sunny days when I've shot with him, you can occasionally catch a glimpse of it. But in these conditions, for sure, it's just a little pop of light as he's going through the stage. So I think I'm not totally sure. I was looking down at the screen rather than up at the stage, but I think on that double stack uprange on the left, I'm pretty sure he went to the no shoot partial first, and then transitioned down to the open. So he'd had like an easier exit target as he got moving, and then could swing around to the right. Which clever move. I'm pretty sure I shot that bottom to top because I was doing it mostly flat-footed anyway, and that's a slightly easier transition since the gun's not in the way. But on the move, I
Right.
think I like his approach better.
We're coming down to the last shooter of the day for this squad. Man, they're going to be done before 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it looks like they are like we were saying the final man on the final stage for 308. I guess when you've got a six-man squad and everyone's taping, it's easy to make that happen.
Yeah. Especially, at the end of this stage, people are they're not having to reload. They can just start
Yep.
taking stuff off so they're not spending as much time in the back.
All right, we got Anthony Labriola just about ready to go.
And with that, squad 308 is complete.
Yeah, squad complete. I like you're saying before 11 o'clock. So
Yeah.
that's six stages in about 2 hours and 40 minutes, since they didn't start quite exactly at 8 either.
That's
So
crazy
that's
fast.
quite a pace.
Yeah, that's fast as all get out.
Yeah, so about 160 minutes divided by six. That's some pace. That's like 25 minutes a squad, basically, 25
12,
minutes a
40.
stage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So how do the finishes look as we now I guess now have final scores for all the open heavy hitters? Well, I
Okay.
guess all the open heavy hitters stands Josh Dawson, who I think is probably still shooting a stage or two down.
Right. Let me just hit refresh and go to open. So, yeah. So Josh Dawson is still shooting, but he's got a comfortable lead right now over Chris Gelnett. So unless something catastrophic happens, it's going to be Vlieger, Maxon, Reeder, Dawson, Gelnett. Those are your top five.
Yeah, I'm sure Josh has to be feeling good about that performance. This I'm not sure if this is his first major and opener if he shot Delmarva as well, but still, to put a couple of percent on Gelnett, who's no slouch
No.
for Josh in very early in his first season, his first complete season as an open competitor. That's some excellent work on his part.
Yeah, he's definitely had a great match. Ron's going to end up in ninth, and Manny will end up in 10th.
Oh, good on Manny making the top 10. Stats, even on staff day, stats is an extremely busy job. So good for him to fight through that distraction and put in a top 10 performance here at a match that honestly in open is relatively like pretty crowded with good people at the top.
So I am going to
I will say,
check carry optics real quick. Oh,
that's
Drew
a
has been
race.
shooting. Yeah. Harrison Marcotte still shooting, has a chance to catch up to Benjamin Essex. But if you look down at Skylar Davis and Drew Maruski, Drew is done. And technically he's leading Skylar But Skyler's high available could pull it out, but he's going to have to. No, actually, no. Why is it like that? It looks like Drew is going to move up to fifth. Skyler's probably going to drop down to sixth.
Opens.
What does he have left? 2, 1, 2. Oh, he has six. Stage 6 is what he has. Is the only stage he has left to shoot.
Well, I need to get on the road back down to zone 2, so maybe I can catch Skyler on 6 if he's not done yet.
Let
All right. Well, I'm going to
me.
sign off. I will. My intention's to get down and take a look at the PCC squad 304 as they wrap up their day. I will do my best to catch some interesting get some interesting footage of other folks we might want to see based on where they are in the match. So yeah, I will catch you in some form or another very soon.
Okay. Let me go back to there. There we go. All right. All right. So we're still waiting for some stuff to happen. We're waiting to some other squads to keep shooting. So I'm going to put us on a break for the moment. I'm not going to end the broadcast. I'm just going to put it in a break at the moment. So we'll be back shortly.